Hello everyone, welcome to this new lesson. In this lesson, we are going to cover Amazon RDS relational databases. So the first of all, you have to understand what is database. A database is a storage where we store our data. Amazon have a various type of the data storage. In the Amazon, you can find RDS, Redshift, DynamoDB, all those type of the databases where we store our data. So what's the difference between the RDS and DynamoDB? RDS is relational database and it is also known as SQL databases, but DynamoDB is no SQL database. Alright, that's mean no SQL, that's mean non-relational database. So what is the advantage of Amazon RDS? In the Amazon RDS, you have these benefits like easy to manage it, highly scalable, although it is not scalable as DynamoDB, but of course this is based on the MySQL, so it's scalable, and it is fast. If you say that it is fast, of course it is not a faster than the DynamoDB, but yes, of course it is fast. Yeah, and it is available, durability, security, inexpensive. So that is the highest advantage of having this RDS database. Alright, but suppose that you have chosen this RDS for your application and you want to know what are other features of RDS and how you can get started with this RDS. So that is where I'm gonna show you how you can get started with this RDS and then how you can connect this RDS with your local machine via MySQL Workbench. Alright, and there are many other use cases of this, like in mobile and web application, storage of the data like user data, game progress, or in e-commerce you have product data storage. All those things you need to use this Amazon RDS. Alright, perfect. So let's go ahead, create a new database, and if you have not logged in your account, you will be seeing here create an account and manage an account. So you have to log in your AWS there. Once you logged in, then you can click on here services. Thereafter you can search here RDS. You will get this relational database services. Once you click on this RDS, you will get the RDS page. Thereafter, if you already have a database there, you will be getting the list of database. Otherwise, you will be getting a first option as create a database. So currently I do not have any database in Amazon RDS. So it will ask me to create a new database. I'm just waiting to reload it. I'm not sure why it is slow. It seems my internet is a little slow. And the good point is that this RDS comes into a free tier. That's mean for a 12-month you can use this RDS free of cost. But you have to also keep in mind that not all the services of RDS is free. There are only few services which are free, and just a micro instance type of RDS is free. And it says that how many instance you can create. It says that total 40 instance we can create, and currently we have here 0 instance. Alright, so that is where you get a complete overview of the resources which is running in your Amazon Web Services. So currently we do not have. You can create a database by clicking create a database, and it says that I want a feedback. Definitely I don't want to give you feedback at this stage. Alright, now let's go ahead and create this database. How you can create it? You see, these are the steps, and these steps are pretty much easy to follow, and I'm gonna just take you through all these steps. So first it says that choose a database creation method. This one is easy method. That's mean it will hide most of the regular option, and then you can create it easily. But I want to show here a detailed description of this database creation. So I'm gonna select here standard create so that you can go through with all the available option. So it says that the engine type, these are the many engine type available, and I'm gonna select here MySQL. Alright, once you select the engine option MySQL, then you will be getting these option. The edition type of this MySQL is a community edition. That's mean this is the free of cost edition, and From here you can select the version of MySQL, which version you wanna use in your in your database. All right, so I'm going to select here the latest version of MySQL, and you can also, if you click on here known issues and the limitation, you will be also getting all those known issues with these particular type of MySQL version. Thereafter it says that what is the template which you want to use here. I want to use it in free tier services. That's mean I don't want to get billed for this AWS RDS. So AWS will be offering you a free version of RDS. Thereafter it says that instance type, so I'm going to select here a database one, otherwise I'm going to select here a free version. All right, thereafter you need to come here in credential setting and master username. All right, let me open here text. All right, notepad, then I'll be showing you all those things. Just a second, let me bring this notepad here. All right, so in this notepad, what do you get here? In this notepad, we are going to write these few information, like what is going to be instance identifier. So this is going to be instance identifier, and in this I'm going to use here a free version. Thereafter I'm going to use here this master username. All right, so this master username I'm going to use here a KGP Talkie. Thereafter it says that a password, and in the password I'm going to simply select the password 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. All right, and once again the password is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. All right, so the password I'm going to select here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So this is a password. Thereafter it is asking about the instance size. So what is going to be instance size? I'm going to select here this per stable classes db t2 micro. That's mean it is a free tier RDS. Thereafter it says that what type of storage you want. I want SSD, and allocation size is 20 gigabyte. This is a minimum size. Thereafter it says that if you want to enable the auto scaling, that's mean if you are going to store a huge data set and you want to scale your database automatically, it can do. All right, thereafter it says that the availability and durability, I'm not getting any option. That's mean this is not available perhaps in a free tier version. Thereafter this connectivity is an important issue here. All right, so you need to click on additional connectivity configuration. Virtual private cloud, that's the VPC, so a default VPC is selected here, don't worry about that. Thereafter it says that this subnet group, there is a default subnet group, and after this is important, a public access. If you select this public access no, then you will be able to access this database only within the EC2 instances, but those EC2 instances which is coming to this VPC. So it's important if you want to access this database from your local computer. To access it from your local computer, you have to select it public access S. But do remember, if you enable this public access, then this will be visible to public, but it's not like that anybody can access it. Whoever want to access this database from a public, they should have the address of endpoint of the database, username and the password. All right, but if you select here no, that means nobody can access it unless and until they have access to your any EC2 instance in your AWS account. So if you select no, that means it is much more secure than if you select S here. All right, but for the tutorial purpose I'm going to select here S, otherwise we won't be able to access it from our local computer. Thereafter this VPC security group is selected as default. And do remember, so this security group says that a default security group says that from where you can access your account. All right, then I'll show you this later. That's mean this default security group you can access it from anywhere. All right, thereafter availability zone, I do not have any preferences, so this one is database port. Let's go ahead and copy it here. So it says that there is a port, so this is default port to access any MySQL database. Alright, thereafter it says that I want it password authentication. Do remember once again, if you want to be here more secure, you can select this one. So in this way it will be needing here identity access management, user ID and the password along with the password of your database. Alright, but I'm going to select here password authentication. Thereafter if you select here the additional configuration, there it says that initial database name and other things. I don't want to do anything there. The backup, if you want to backup this database, you can select it. Alright, so your database will be automatically backed up for this given time period, that's been the 7 days. Copy tags snapshot, so we can leave these as it is, you don't need to change anything. Alright, and everything is okay and perfect. Let's go ahead and create this database. Once this database is created, thereafter you will be getting here this endpoint. So endpoint is the address of your database. Alright, perfect. Once you do that, it says that the free version database is being created. It will take a few minutes. It will take a few minutes to complete this creation completely. Now if you click on this free version, even at this location you will be getting your credentials. If you click on this view credentials, there you have a password 1234567 and the master username is admin, which we have the master username we had the KGP Talkie. Alright, we have to pay attention on this. I think it was a KGP Talkie or admin. Perhaps if it was the admin, then we have to get it admin. I think I told to change it to KGP Talkie, but I kept it as admin. Alright, so we have to pay attention on this as well. Alright, so the later once we will be connecting, then we will get to know that if it is get connected with the KGP Talkie, then it is that one. Alright, now let's go ahead and close it. We might need to wait for some time. It is gonna create. Alright, it is creating. Alright, so you have successfully created your database at RDS and it is running and available. Now we can connect with this RDS. So you see there we have got here endpoint. Now we need to copy this endpoint here. Now we have got this endpoint. Alright, so this endpoint and the password and then username. We will be needing it to connect with our RDS. And if you are not sure about what is this, all these things, you can also modify it here. Alright, if you click on the modify, then you will once again get all those options which we had got while creating this database. And if you want to make any changes, you can make those changes. Like here, if you see there, storage and settings, connectivity we have got here, and this was a master password, and I think all those things we have here. All right, there we have a storage and these are the setting, and then we have here a connectivity, additional connectivity. Now we can access it from the public. Alright, so these things, if you want to make any changes, you can make the changes. Alright, perfect. Now let's come back to this database, and this database currently do not have any table. Now our task is to connect to this database from MySQL Workbench. So you can download MySQL Workbench. If you search it on Google, you will be getting this option here at this web address mysql.com products workbench. You can download it. I'm assuming that you have already downloaded this MySQL and you have running it on your local computer. Otherwise you can download it and then you can run it. Alright, so let's say that you have it and you are running it here. So open your MySQL Workbench. Thereafter you need to click on this plus sign. That's mean we are going to add here a new database connection. And in this connection, I'm going to say here, this is RDS and then this host name. Host name is this endpoint. All right. So this endpoint, I'm going to put in the host name. And the port address is 3306. That is okay. And the password and the user ID. All right. So username we had got here the admin. We are going to try it with the admin and then we will try it with KGP Talkie. All right. Thereafter, it says that what is going to be a password. So password is this one. I'm gonna copy it and paste it here. Thereafter, click on OK. Then you can click on test connection. So it might take a time, just a while. It might take a while to test this connection. If this connection gets a successful message, that's mean we have successfully established a connection with MySQL database. Otherwise, I think then we need to change this username to KGP Talkie. All right, so this is failed. All right, so this connection is failed. Now, do you remember that when I was creating the database, I told you that I'll take you through once again on the security group. So it is the problem of a security group. So we have to come again here. And if you remember, the security group is here, a default security group currently we have. But here, this default security group do not accept the connection at this inbound. So what we have to do, we have to change our inbound connection for this particular security group. All right. So for that purpose, what we have to do, we have to create here a new security group which should access the connection. All right. Which should actually take the inbound connection. So this one is a security group which we had selected by default to our database. So for that purpose, this is not able to accept the connection. All right, internally. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create here a new security group. All right, and that security group I'm going to give here the RDS KGP Talkie. All right, and then I'm going to say here the RDS connection. Thereafter, in this inbound rule, I'm going to select here all traffic. All right, and from all sources. So this is going to access all the traffic from all the sources. Thereafter, once it is done, then we can create this new security group. And once this security group is created, now we have to go again at this RDS. I'm going to open it into a new tab. Then we have to select, once we come to that, we have to select this security group RDS KGP Talkie so that it can select all the traffic. Otherwise, we won't be able to connect to that RDS table, RDS database. So we are just waiting to reload this page. Then we'll do those changes in the setting. So there you need to come here at the database. And we have currently running one instance of this database where we have to change this security group. All right. So there you have got it, and then you need to click on this modify. After this modify, we should be able to see this security group change modification. All right, so you need to scroll it down, come here inside this connectivity. In the connectivity, security group is by default, that is default. I'm going to select here this RDS KGP Talkie. Then with this, it is selected and everything leave as it is. Then click on continue. So we have only this modification summary security group. Thereafter, I'm going to say here immediately. All right, scheduling of modification, apply this immediately. Thereafter, modify DB instance. All right, so it might take a while to complete its modification. Let's go ahead and see. I think this modification is successfully applied, and we can see here this RDS KGP Talkie is there. Now for the testing purpose, let's go ahead and test it once again. But do remember that is still in modification, so we might need to wait for a few seconds. But yes, successfully made the MySQL connection. So congratulations, you have connected your Workbench, MySQL Workbench successfully to the RDS. Now if you click on this RDS and then MySQL editor will open here. Thereafter, we will test here how we can create a database with MySQL Workbench in our RDS database. All right, so we have got here this query things, all these things, and if you want to test here, we have to first create here a database. All right, so I'm gonna say here create database, and I'm gonna say here the KGP Talkie database name. So this database is created. Now you can successfully see that database is created. And if you want to see how many tables are inside this database, you will see no table because we do not have anything. All right, so we have to also use this. So use here KGP Talkie. All right, thereafter it is run successfully, and it says that it is fetching the table, and it found that there is no table inside this particular database. All right, let me zoom in. All right, so this is how you can create this the table inside the how you can check the total number of tables present in the database. We are connected with the RDS, and we are checking these tables and databases in RDS directly from our MySQL Workbench. Now let's go ahead and create a table. So you can say here a create a table. Thereafter I'm going to say here the create table name as a persons. Thereafter I'm going to pass here the parameter in this table, which parameter we are going to use to create this table. So I'm going to say here the ID. This ID is going to be integer value but not null value. And I'm also going to provide here auto increment. That's mean it will be also used as auto increment if we don't pass any ID. Thereafter this ID, I'm going to pass here first name. That's the first name. F name I'm going to pass here as a text, and I'm going to say here not null. That's mean this value should not be null. Thereafter I'm going to pass here the last name, and this last name is also text data, and I'm going to pass here this could be null. A default value could be null. Thereafter I'm also going to pass here the company name. Okay, company name is okay. C name. All right, let's go ahead and say that this is a company name. Thereafter I'm going to pass here this age, and then it says that what is going to be this primary key. All right, so for a primary key I'm going to say that this is going to be ID. All right, so this ID is going to be a primary key. Thereafter this age is going to be the integer. All right, superb. Now you can see there we have created it successfully, and if I need to put it like this one. All right, so the ID is a primary key and everything is okay. Now we can create this table. Just run this. How you can run this? You can also use this one. All right, so execute this statement. I think perhaps this one. All right, so this one will execute all the cell, but if you want to execute only this one, then you can select this one. All right, since this table is already created, that is why it is saying that table is created. But if you want to drop this table, you can simply say that drop person. All right, so this table will be let me see here if it is drop. All right, let me see this drop is not. I think I'm missing here this table keyword. Okay, drop table this persons. All right, so with this the table is dropped there. You need to also run here control and enter together. Otherwise select this one and then click on this one. You will be seeing there this table is created. All right, now if you run here show tables, then you will be able to see that this table. All right, so the table is there, the person table is there, and it do not have any values. That is why in nothing is coming inside that. Thereafter I'm gonna say I'm gonna show you how you can insert value in this table. So you can simply write there insert into persons. Thereafter I'm gonna say here these name which we are gonna insert here. We are gonna insert F name, L name, that's the last name, and then we are also gonna insert here a C name, and then we are also gonna insert here age. All right, thereafter what is going to be the values which I'm gonna insert inside this one. Those values are going to be like what is the first name. I'm gonna say that here Okay, Lakshmikant. All right. Thereafter, what is going to be the company name? This is going to be the KGP Talkie. Thereafter, I'm gonna say that what is the age? That's the 21. All right, now it is okay. Let's go ahead and run this one. You can simply select these and run these. It says that this is inserted there, and if you want to see the total values inside the table, you can simply do like this one, select all from persons. All right, select this one and then run this one. You will be seeing there all these information will be printed. It says that okay, Lakshmi, Kant, KGP, Talkie, etc. And if you run these once again, then you will be seeing there a new value is inserted, and we should see here 2 row. So the first row and there is second row. The one thing now, do you see there this ID? We have not passed here the ID, but this is automatically incrementing, and this automatic increment is happening because here we said that this ID is auto increment. That's mean if we don't pass anything at every operation, this ID will automatically increment. All right, perfect. So you have successfully connected your local MySQL Workbench with AWS RDS, and you have also tested it how you can use this RDS with your local computer. Even though you can use it from anywhere, wherever you want, you can use it from the AWS EC2 instances as well. All right, perfect. So this is all about in this lesson. Thanks a lot for watching it, and please do not forget to like and subscribe this channel. Bye bye. Have a nice day.